Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our live stream. We're going to talk about different things today, but some of the main topics are past life regression, traumatic incident reduction, the wins that Agvila has had recently. We'll probably talk about entities and law of attraction, practice and technique, and maybe ETs, aliens, and these are the sort of things that we like to talk about in general. And we will be taking questions and just enjoy a Sunday morning together, chit-chatting it up. Okay? All right. So, Agvila, you had some wins a few days ago. What would you like to share about that?
Well, we're addressing something personal, but my whole life, or for the last 5 years, when I would get on my period, I would get like intense pains, so intense that I can pass out. It was just like, I would literally beg for someone to kill me because it was just like that hard. I cannot get up, I cannot move, I cannot do stuff because it's just like overwhelming. So for me, like it was like really hard to handle, and I can take pain pills, but doesn't really help. I can take this and that, like whatever I do with my diet, it just doesn't help. And I'm the kind of person who doesn't really like to go to the doctors, so I was like literally like quietly like suffering and stuff.
You've
And
actually passed out, like walking down the street or something?
more than once, yeah. I was like literally going down the stairs. I get out of the house. I'm like, hey, gonna go shopping, get some clothes, and I'm out. People find me on the street. People like, I'm just going like in the morning. I wake up. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I pass out. It's just like I cannot bear the pain, and like it happened too
Wow.
many times. It's just like it
Yeah.
was like overwhelming. So like I literally first few days just like like it's just really hard to handle. And some people have it like really bad. Some people have it like easy. And
Yeah.
for me, just kicked in like first few years when I was like we just started like cool, like nothing's too bad, but like then it just got really bad. And which is why I wanted to address it. Like hey, whenever I'm about to go somewhere, and my period kicks in, I'm dead. Like it's really bad. So we did the session like addressing my issues with this, like, and the specific thing, like just like having this traumatic, like really bad pain. But then as we were doing sessions and talking and getting into the, I noticed that like there's a big connection with my past lives and like related to traveling and passing out because like the pain is just unbearable. But before that, like I guess we can just like talk about the kind of questions we did, the session and stuff, and then get into the past life and stuff. But what are your thoughts?
Sure. Yeah. Deep breath. Okay. Yeah. So, um, Agvila was been in real pain here in the last few days, and I've seen her pass out. I was with her one time when she actually passed out. It's very, very scary. Uh, and we neither one of us really understood. Well, she understood why she was passing out. It was fucking hurt, but I didn't quite get it. What? Anyway. Uh, so recently we've been doing some sessions. We've been doing release work to release limiting beliefs, negative emotional stuff, and mm, past life regression stuff works better for physical, these painful headaches or body aches and weird stuff like that. But we were doing release work on entity work. So uh, the first thing we did was um, during the session is tell me a little bit about it. And so I could get specifically where does it hurt more, like, isolated exactly. And so you sort of focus in on that, yeah?
Yeah, like, but like we had all of these questions, and for me, the thing was like, hey, it's probably the antes. It's something just really off. And as we were
Mm-hmm.
talking, I realized that like, I noticed like one thing that it gets like really bad when I have to go somewhere. So that like there's traveling, there's something included, and that's when we picked up like, I'm like doing something like, hey, wait a minute, like. I've had it in the past, like, as I'm talking it up, and I'm just like, I say a phrase, like, boom, and I get like this visual like flash of my past and like one after another, and like tons of incidents where stuff happened to me where like I got cut, like someone like gonna like cut me with a sword, and I'm like cut in half. There's like reptilian raping me and like like really tearing me apart after that. There's like spaceship like being cut in half with a laser, and like everything falls on me, and like I'm just dead. Like, so tons of things happening. And in that session, like the one thing that was like amazing, I was like finally finding the beginning where it all started, and it was like when millions and millions and millions of years ago. But like as I was traveling, and I was like more of this sentinel that like this is my usual role. Like I'm just like trying to help other beings, and as I'm going from one planet to another and just taking care of beings out there and make sure like it's all friendly, people are like doing good, like everything's settled. And what happens is in it all, reptilians create this like sort of like a square box that's like invisible to the eye. But as I was traveling and like like just through time and space, I get stuck in that box. And what they do is like they just pierce me, and so I'm stuck on this like sort of beam, but my body is moving. Like if someone's seen a game Portal, where like there's one portal and second portal, and if you drop something in there, the item just keeps falling nonstop. So that's what I was happening. Like I was like the box was like a simulation for that, and I was like traveling nonstop for years and years, pierced on that thing, and it just keeps hurting me, and like it's painful, and the box keeps getting smaller to the point where it just squeezes me, and like there's no getting out. And what I had to do is like self-destruction. So like I literally suicide blows away, and like I'm I'm dead, but like I'm free at the same time. And with that, like a lot of past lives happened where it just kept escalating to the point where I keep getting hurt in that specific place. And doing that sort of release work, as we were like noticing how many years passed, what kind of emotional trauma it was, how bad it was amazing that after that, I was getting releases. And during the session, when I was like finally like letting go of that, like getting like releasing that negative emotions and stuff, the pain stopped, and all of a sudden, no pain, and I'm feeling better than ever. Like what? Like it was just like weird, and at the same time, such a relief. And usually, like it hurts the whole week, and this time, like first day we started, and boom, it's out, and it never came back. So for me, it's like it's a huge win, because like it's just a relief that damn, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite amazing how it works. The way, just so people know how, we started with release work. So I would just ask her questions about the pain, and kind of get more specific about it, and ask, when did it start, and these different universal release questions about it. But then we checked, well, maybe this is something about entities are involved. So we checked for entity stuff. And as she's talking about it, I'm starting to, I know what this is about, because I've done so many past life regression sessions on people, that I know that this kind of pain is going to be, it has happened in the past, but we lived so long in past lives that whatever pain we have in our body, it's kind of happened more than once. You got your arm chopped off more than once. You got shot in the head more than once. You got your head cut off more than once. So the trick is not just recalling a past life and going through it. The real trick is to recall a past life and then check to see if there's an earlier one, earlier similar. And what you really want to do is get to the very first time the phenomena happen, because they link together, they're locked together in the subconscious, similar content, similar pain. They're cross-filed in a lot of different ways, but if you track down the filing, like the tags on the incident, sharp pain in the exact area, and we also sensed, we figured out from just the two-way communication things, I saw a pattern that this had something to do with when she's traveling or moving from one place to another. This happens to be part of the content. So we started looking specifically for something that had to do with traveling and the intense pain in the specific area. And we tracked that down earlier and earlier. And so then when she got into the earliest incident, there it was traveling, and it was that intense pain. but it was also a trap, and it had to do with the reptilians or the archons or whatever you want. We've been having this war with these entities for a very, very long time. So anyway, another thing to help a person, if they can view the entire thing and bring the whole thing from the subconscious to the conscious, it stops reacting on them. It's no longer a hypnotic suggestion to feel intense pain, because it's all, you're seeing it all, and it releases. So the trick is to help her see the whole thing. And that means finding the beginning of the incident, how long it lasted, and what was the end of the incident. So sometimes there's an earlier beginning or a later ending. And when you work it this way as a past life regressionist, so to speak, you help the person see the whole thing. And you go through it 3 or 4 or 5 times, sometimes longer, sometimes more times. And you're bringing up more and more of the subconscious content until she can see all of it. And it all becomes crystal clear. Oh, and you find the decisions, the considerations, the beliefs that got locked in. Sometimes implant commands are in those things. And so that's how we did it from a technical perspective. Is that how you remember doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, like the biggest thing, like I just really wanted to share this win with people, because like I believe a lot of people have like different issues, but like when it comes to the physical body pain, or there's like patterns that they're like aware of, looking to past lives and being able to release that gives lots of wins. And for me, like, hey, it might be my period. Some people might have headaches. Some people might have back pain. Some people might like be like really having a hard time drinking water, for example, like different things. But just like recalling past stuff and removing anything traumatic, it sort of gives you the freedom. And for me to being able to live pain free regarding like that subject, like it's a huge win. Like I'm super happy about it, and like I just like sort of wish that more people would knew about this technique and were able to do it, so that whatever issue they have, if it's like really hurting them, in any kind of way, they can like look through their past, like get rid of it, and now all of a sudden like it's way better. So it's a thing to share.
Now, hey, let me ask you another personal question. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. I've been teaching. I've taught a few people how to do this technique, and so I've given you lots of sessions on this stuff, and sort of how to do it. But I don't know if you've actually ever given people this kind of session. Do you feel comfortable giving these kinds of sessions, or no, not so much? Just yeah, I'm just wondering about that. Can you do these sessions on people yet? Do you know how to do it yet?
Yeah, I've done it in the past quite a few times, but at the same time, like I don't do it often just because it requires the immense amount of focus, but at the same time, a person has to be ready for it. And some people are just like, hey, I want to find out who I was in past life, and they're waiting for an answer. I'm not gonna give it. Like I'm not some sort of guy like, hey, yeah, you were this, you were Jesus, you were this, and I'm not gonna tell you a famous figure or something. I'm more like, let me show you how you can go back and recall yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
even at the same time, like I don't like doing it because like people think it's gonna be fun and that and stuff. And sure thing, you can have like lots of fun in the past life, but usually did have some traumatic experience, and people are not being, or people are just like not able to confront it and handle it. So when they tap into it, they might like remember 20 years of how fun it was with another some person or with whatever adventure they might have been having, but then they tap into the painful stuff where their issues starts and stuff. They just can't handle it. They want to rabbit, they want to run away, they want to like, no, I'm done with session, I can't look at it. And I've had the same issue in my past. When I started doing it without enough confront, it was just too painful. I could not handle it. I was feeling the immense pain in my physical body right here. Even though the incident happened in the past, I was just like so in touch with it that I was like really feeling it, and it just hurt me more than I could handle. And I just had to take a break, and took me a while to grow and work on myself and come back and look at it again and go through it and being able to release it, and I'll let go and feel free. But it takes time to like work it up. It's not like, oh yeah, past life fun. Not really. Like it depends. It might be like really harsh, and it's one of the things like when giving people sessions, I can do it, but the people that I'm working with, I'm being super careful, because just having sessions with them and just talking to them, like they're not ready. They want to find out. They want to have fun. they are not ready for that. Like they can hardly handle an entity being there talking to them. Past life is gonna crush them. Like like recalling some incident with their parents of like, oh yeah, I have a back pain. Cool. Like I can already probably see like 50 incidents where they had it, and
Yeah.
I'm not the one to tell it. They need to look at it themselves. So like I like helping others to get in that place, but it's just like too hard to handle for some people. So I'm like 50-50. I can give sessions, but like I have to be like super careful about it. And like I usually like do it with you. Like when you're there, I'm the one that can do the spiritual work if they cannot handle it, and I let you guide them. But at the same time, I'll be the one going out of the body and handling the entities, handling the incident, and just getting back with information and all the work that I've did out there to like, hey, this is what happened. I can fill you up, and I'm giving all the information stuff, and that's where we end. But solo is kind of difficult because
Yeah.
people can just look at it.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you can ask a person to move into a past life when they were 12 years old. Something fun. A fun time when they were 12 years old, a few hundred years ago. A lot of people they'll just get an idea, a thought in their head or an image, and they'll think it's their imagination because it's so easy. But they can tune into it, and then you can ask questions. Well, how long ago does that seem? Oh, it seems like, maybe 300 years ago, 350-ish. Just seems that way. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a billion years ago. We have this sense about us that can nail that. Well, what do you see? Well, I see a boulder, and I see some trees, and my friends were all playing. And specifically, you're looking for a pleasure moment in a past life, because that's what people, who was I in the past life? What was I doing? Well, it's a long life. We do lots of different things. Well, if you were to recall a time in this life when you're like 12 years old and having fun at the beach, you're good. But it is very likely, now that your attention is on that area, your attention will scan, not even trying to, and you will hit upon a painful, emotionally or physically painful experience that happened somewhere during that time. And that's the downside of playing around with past lives. We can do it, but it's incredibly powerful the way it works. And this technique we use helps you draw it up, see the whole thing. Sometimes really hard to confront. I had to really talk Agvila into doing past life regressions over a year ago. She didn't want to do it because she sees stuff so vividly and intensely. Is that right?
Yeah, like when I'm gonna recall a past life, it's not just oh yeah, little one incident where like I was hurt. No, I'm gonna see all of the incidents, 1,000, a million, a billion, no matter how many lives I've lived. I will recall every single one of them, relive them at the same moment, like as if you can watch a movie, like oh yeah, that movie character that's in this born, and like you watch his whole life. I'm living it right now as we're talking, every single life at the same moment, and every traumatic thing will be here as intense as if I'm experiencing right now. So for me, I'm like kind of a bit on the steroids. Like, oh yeah, can you get out of body and recall this? Yeah, pretty much. It's too easy. So for me, it's like I can recall past lives, but it's just like when we started, I was not ready for it. I was like you showed me a technique. You told me that it's gonna help with like getting rid of my pain and traumatic stuff. I was up for it, but I had no idea how intense it's gonna be because like I wasn't really aware of my own abilities and how intense it's gonna be. So I haven't really done that, and just taking the first few steps was like, oh, that's really harsh. And so like I had to take a break and work on myself until I got to a level where I can confront stuff. But even now, sometimes depending on what I address, it can get like really overwhelming.
Yeah, it's amazing. Indigo, super indigo kid.
Yes.
Something. I don't know what we put a label on you. Don't put a label on me. Sorry, but yeah, it's amazing your recall ability, your visuals, and other perceptions too.
Yeah.
So
What was amazing to me is that like once as we were doing that like past life session like day before yesterday, and we were just looking into the case and stuff. When we started addressing it, it was like so kind of like overwhelming. Not too bad, but like really started knocking me out. Like I was hardly like staying awake. Like it just put me to sleep. I was getting like kind of weak, and I was like literally like, just like trying to hold on, and just looking through those like incidents and like talking about it and looking like this, and like keep on going and looking for the starting place. And once I spotted that, and the spotting like boom, and all of a sudden I get this like massive energy. I literally wake up. Every kind of sleepy thing like goes away, and I'm like, I'm really there. Like it's just like I could tell like this is it. Like it just like changes everything. So it's kind of amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So normally on a day like today, before doing this work, you would be probably feeling some pain in those parts of your body.
Yeah, for me, like when I'm on my period, it's just like it's get really intense. Like I don't know why I haven't really went to docs. I'm like, hey, can you check me? Like, I the first experience I had with doc was really unpleasant, and I decided like never again. Like fuck it, I really didn't want to repeat anything of that. And plus, I don't know, just yeah, let's not talk about that. But
Yeah.
it got me to the place where I really just kept everything to myself. You know, it hurts. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Like I'm just gonna last through the pain, and it could get really bad. Like the more I stress, and depending on what happens in my life, it gets like overwhelming to where I can't move because I'm just gonna pass out, and I just need to get some fresh air because like it just like it really gets bad. And it was amazing that after the session, like even during the session, as we were like releasing that, the pain stopped. And it's what the third or fourth day when like I'm like, what? I still don't have any pain. Like, how is that possible? So it's just like it's amazing. And I just really wish that people who have anything like it would be able to look into their past lives, handle their stuff, confront it, and release it, and just notice the massive wins. But because like it's just amazing for me.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing your wins. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Questions? Anybody been asking any questions? How many people do we have here?
We have 11 watching. Aris Corrales was asking what's the time difference between us, and that would be 10-hour difference. I'm in Lithuania, you're in California. And we have other people talking about Jewish families and Hitler winning the war and other stuff, but they're just talking to each other, so
Oh, okay.
gotta spread their truth.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
since we're on the subject, have you had any wins of that? Like as in you're looking through your past lives, but you get a release that like really helps your life in a way, or have you seen other people experiencing that besides me?
Well, I did for many years back in the 70s and 80s, and kind of stopped doing it. I kind of lost, having somebody to do it with. But I think the biggest wins I've got out of it personally, because I didn't have a lot of physical issues or anything like that, some emotional stuff. But the biggest thing I got out of it was understanding galactic history and my past, in most anybody's past, from a very long past life journey. I've been, I recall past lives where I'm cyborg, part human, part machine, like Terminator stuff. And then other ones, I was on a whole track of robot stuff. Sometimes it's cyborg, half human body, half robot. Sometimes they'll build this is like over the millions and millions of years in advanced civilizations prior to Earth. We're always building robots and stuff. And sometimes you put the consciousness in a human body augmented with robot parts, but sometimes we'd put the human consciousness into a robot body augmented with biological parts. So it's all robot, so to speak, or android, except you want to get those real good sensations of eating food, for example. So then you have the biological part, tongue, teeth, throat, this sort of stuff, stomach. So you can get the sensations of the yummy food and things like that. And you can just take it to the next step. Well, what about these other places? Yeah, that too. So, but yeah, that's what I learned. One time I was like in a war, out in space, in a spacecraft, shooting it out with the bad guys. Just think Star Trek and the Klingons and the Romulans and stuff. But shooting it out, and we ran out of torpedoes, and they killed, I think, everybody on my ship. The humans, and I was the robot guy. I was Data. but in mine it was more of a robot looking thing, like the android, kind of thing. Anyway, and we were going past lives of headaches, sharp headache pain and something. Well, and this was the earliest one, and I'm desperate. We run out of torpedoes. I stuck myself in the launch tube, shot myself off at the enemy craft. Oh, ouch. So that was my basic on that one. But yeah, I don't have those kind of headaches anymore.
Yeah. It's interesting, yeah, like sometimes you look at past lives and even though it might be traumatic and it hurts and stuff, but some of them might be really funny, like how did that happen? Like who would I think of that? But
Yeah.
as I mentioned, like, just like doing this sort of work, getting out of body and doing these sessions or looking through the past lives, I really love it. As in, it might be hard to handle, there might be something negative and like, you need to confront it, but eventually there's a part where you're just finding things for yourself. You don't have anyone telling you stuff, you just like, you go back in time and see what you experienced personally, and the information you bring back is just like tremendous, and I really like it. That's where most of my understanding comes in. Like, all of these hobbies I'm having and experiences, like, hey, I went there. This is what I did that many years ago, and like, I have an idea for myself, which is like why I feel like more free about sharing it, because like I know that this is my truth, and just like works for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, we already had like some questions going. If you want to answer them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Rob Green was asking, what do you guys think about the one's higher self?
The one's higher self.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a simple answer and a complex answer. One answer is that there's another aspect of yourself that's higher in vibration, and that focus from that level of consciousness, we have separated out from that, and so we don't feel like we are that higher self. But through meditation and focus and belief and everything else, we can imagine ourselves being at one with our higher self, and there's a merging. And if you're still like feeling like you're still here in the physical world and you got a higher self here, you've created your belief system and your vibrational phenomena, your energy field and all this stuff here, to make it acceptable for that higher consciousness. So it doesn't come down here feeling toxic or messed up, because it can be separate from here. And it's like, no, dude, it's too messed up down there. I can come in and help you out with some inspired thought, and it is you. So it will come in to you, and you don't feel like a higher self, other entity has tapped into you. You will just feel very brilliant, very good. Oh my God. Hey, I like that. I feel great. Well, this is higher self, higher aspect of self, over soul, higher self, this stuff. And you, wow. And then it'll leave. So that's a thing. That's a way to look at it. And a guy named Michael Sharp, and just go Michael Sharp dossier on Google. He talks about this and techniques for meditation techniques that will help clear your system so that the higher self can tap in and be here, so you can call forth or bring in your higher self. So that's what I know about it.
Yeah. And I've had this sort of phenomenon happening to me as well. I feel like sometimes I can even be making a video, and all of a sudden, like this knowingness like comes in, and I'm like, wow, like where that came from, So
Yeah.
it's amazing, but it's a great feeling as well. And as we're like talking, I'm gonna say hello to Biu and Sugiužovia. We have some like Lithuanians watching our channel. It's really nice.
Hey, you want to say
Appreciate it.
something in Lithuanian to him or no?
I say the name. That's enough.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, Tony Woodcock was asking how to get out of body through a lucid dream, because he's trying, but he just cannot do it traditional way.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can lucid dream, the idea is that while you're still awake, do a practice like what you want to do is become very, very conscious and more awake while in your lucid dream. And this more awakeness and consciousness that you make happen in your lucid dream, and you go, I'm dreaming. This is a dream, but I want to get out of dream world and I want to get into ubi state. Well, being out of body in this way is a state of consciousness, not a location. So it doesn't matter if you're in a dreamscape or in fourth density reality, doesn't matter. It's that level of consciousness that you're in. So while you're lucid dreaming, if you can go, whoa, hey, I'm dreaming. Hey, can I lift my own vibration higher and wake myself up even more and go, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not lucid dreaming. I'm experiencing this and this is real. I'm real. I'm really here. I'm not in my physical body. I'm here. And you get more awake and more conscious and more aware and knowing like that. So while you're in your physical life, walking around during the day, planning on having a lucid dream tonight or this week sometime, you can do these practices. You can look at your hands. It's called astral hands, but you imagine just looking at your physical hands and really look at the detail. While in physical reality, you want to intensify your focus and really be here in physical reality with your hands, looking at them, rubbing them, feeling them. And you go, I am really here. I am awake. And look at the ground. Look, because you want to be grounded in the lucid dream. You want to be grounded here in the physical realm. So you look at, and you go, oh, and you stomp on the ground and you go, that's really real. And you look at some details on the ground. Look at your feet. Definitely look at your feet. And you wiggle your toes or your shoes or something and click them together, whatever, little things like that. But focusing on being here now and increase your vibration with intention. Willpower yourself into feeling a little better, higher, emotionally uplifted. Make it so. Imagine it. Just do it with intensity, physical world. And then you do that as a practice daily. And the idea is that when you flip into a lucid dream, you will remember to do, I'm lucid dream, I'm going to like increase my vibration now. Oh, yeah, I've been practicing this in the physical realm. And you go, physical realm? I'm not in the physical realm right now. This may alone shift you into that ubi state. But you look at your hands and you look at them really close, the fingerprints, and feel them and the temperature, and look at your feet and stomp on the dreamscape floor or ground and you go, yeah. And then do that breath work, that energy work to increase your vibration. And it will just increasing your vibration in this way will change your dreamscape world. It will probably lift. If it's kind of a creepy part of the neighborhood or something, it will get prettier. It might be the same neighborhood, but a higher vibrational version of the same place. The houses will get nicer. The trees will get more fully alive and vibrant. The people will be friendlier and happier and look nicer. Instantly, you can see the change as it happens. So this is a technique that I've used, and it really works. Yeah.
Wow, I like it.
Thank you.
We have more questions coming in.
Fire away, folks.
Okay, yeah. So Sage is saying, since there are theories about there being a dome over Earth, does that cause us to be trapped here after death?
No, depends on which story or belief system you're buying into and how do you feel about it. But let's just go with the one where people believe there's a dome over the Earth. Now, it can be a flat Earth or kind of flattish or kind of convex, or we can be in a globe, or it doesn't matter. But we're talking about the shielding over the Earth. Okay, The story I've heard and the one I buy into and I believe in is yes, there was and there is, but now there's a lot of holes blown into it. We can blow holes into that grid, and that grid has been like, it's like shooting freaking bullets through a big glass dome thing, and boom, 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 boom. There's these holes in it, and it's just shatter, shatter, crack. So it's breaking up, and it's really weak. If it's still there at all, it's really weak, and people can go just through the cracks. Literally, there's big holes in it, and you go, oh, like that. Another way, and it's an energy field around the physical Earth and the astral double of the Earth, so that when people drop dead, the bad boys, the archons, the reptilians, and their kind want to keep us from breaking free and going out into the astral of our galaxy, the real-time double of our galaxy, or the astral plane of our galaxy, or fourth dimensional reality that's a kind of a duplicate of our galaxy and thus universe. But the shielding is there to keep us reincarnating. And they kind of catch us, and they'll talk us into a past life review and a belief system, and they want us to agree to reincarnate. So that's that dome thing. And so some people can hit the dome, or they'll hit an energy field. It's not like a glass dome so much as an energy shield or field, and you just can't go any further. But that's one way to look at it, from the idea of dropping dead, being on the astral plane of the physical world, maybe looking at your body laying there in the bed or wherever, and you're going, ooh, and you go, well, what now? And you'll just, by default, you might just go this way. And if you don't have your beliefs in place, or your intentions or desires, what you want to do after life, like this life, if you don't have that like laid out or any thoughts about it, what will happen is you can shift to your belief system default settings, so to speak. And you will arrive in a realm, and it'll be around Earth usually, and you will interact with guides or friends or not so friendlies, but then you'll go from there. So everybody's different from that respect. But the other way out, beyond the dome, the energy shield, it's got full of holes now anyway, it's relatively ineffective now. But the other way out is like you drop dead and you go, whoa, and you might see your physical body, but then it's like you, with your new understanding of the afterlife and the multidimensionality of reality, you can tune into your belief system territory that is beyond the shielding of the Earth, and you'll just arrive in your realm with your people. And there's no past life review, and there's no talk you into reincarnating. And like thousands and thousands, if not millions of people already do that. It's not just like, oh no, if I die, I'm going to get reincarnated. If I follow the light, no, people are dropping dead all the time, and they're getting beyond the physical Earth prison planet trap dome shielding of it all. And they don't have to have a lot of sophisticated education about the afterlife. It's just the way they believe and feel. So you can drop dead and quickly shift into your belief system territory, and you'll be with your friends and loved ones, authentic loved ones and friends, and continue living life in your immortal experience of all that is. So that's a way out to say it.
Yeah. And for me, like, when I go out of body, I just like start tuning into my other bodies. Like there is no like, oh, I got out of body, I see my body, and then I think about like, oh, I look around, this is my apartment, this is my city. Like, no, I just like, I open my eyes, I'm in another body, I'm continuing my experience from there. Or I can like just be consciousness anywhere and just decide what to do then. But like I'm practicing like shifting into realities where there are things people are talking about, like let's say this dome or like different things, and I like practice like, okay, what would happen if I was there? What would happen if I was in that reality? And for me, like going through that dome, even if it had holes, or even if it didn't have holes, I believe that we're way too powerful, that, for us to have an intention to just pierce it is way too easy. And, I think like we're like, oh yeah, no dome, that's it, it's gone, So
Yeah.
I
Oh, that's
like that.
great. Yeah, I wanted to mention that about what you can do tonight. Any of us can do this. Sit down, relax, do our meditation, and imagine a powerful beam of your life light straight out the top of your crown chakra through your other, and straight up piercing that dome and blowing a big freaking hole in it. Yeah, easy. And it works. Because all we have to do is imagine it, and this stuff starts happening. That's what these archons and these robotic AI, this artificial intelligence cannot do. They can't imagine shit because there's nobody home. It's all programming. It's very sophisticated programming, but it's not. There's not a being there, and not a being that, not a real being. That consciousness with an imagination. So consciousness with an imagination can like totally beat the AI every time.
Yeah. Great. And we have more questions coming in. So this one is from John West, and he's asking, how did you gain confidence in yourself that you have the correct model of reality?
Well, there's no correct model of reality. You pick the one that is your model of reality, and that's the one you live with. That's your model of reality. So whatever you believe is the model of reality is the model of reality. If you feel like you're not confident that that's it, that's your reality. I think it's this, but I'm not confident, and that's it. And then if you wonder if there's another version that is better, you live and experience the idea and the wonderment of, is there a better version? But there is no better version for you. So we each have that ability to create our own personal reality, and everybody has one. And so it is what you know it to be, what you experience it as. And a part of that has doubt and no confidence. That is your reality. So it's not about changing your reality, it's changing how you feel about it. So you want to address your thoughts, worries, concerns, beliefs, limiting beliefs, conclusions, decisions, soul contract agreements you made about this sense of doubt about reality or what is reality. And if a person does some studies on what reality really is, what does it even mean? And how, some people will say dreams are real. And other people will say reality is a dream. But other people will say dreams are dreams and reality is reality, and reality is not a dream and dream is not a reality. Is this real or is this a dream? So what you really want to do is a self-study and understand philosophically for yourself, what is the definition of reality? What is reality? What's the difference between real and imaginary? So then you want to take a deep dive into the imagination. What is imagining? What is the image? How does that relate to what is real? And then you start taking a deep dive into law of attraction and how we manifest reality. And the props on the stage of life, the cup, the room, the chair, that's not reality. Those are the props. What is real is what you experience from the inside out. This is a nice place to live. I love this place. That's your reality. It's not the chair and the walls. And it's different for everybody. So everybody has a different reality and a different understanding of reality. And where my reality is his reality or her reality, it's where we come together with agreements and we have agreed upon reality. First, we agree with ourselves on what is real. We agree with our greater self, the God self within. We agree with that aspect of ourselves. It's like we as ego self agree with true self, and true self allows the ego self that we are, who we believe we are, the character or the personality that we are, agrees that this is my reality and it sucks. Okay. Higher self, over self, the greater conscious, the God within, the I am that I truly am goes, okay. And you've got agreement that your life really sucks, whether you're talking with anybody else or not in the physical world. But you can walk around and meet other people and they go, yeah, life sucks. And they go, yeah, life sucks. I agree. It's between the two of you, this stuff's real. And you look at a car driving down the road, another fucked up car. Yeah, that's your reality. This reality is fucked up if that's how you live it. But you can just as easily start shifting that around and go, hey, life is great. And you put it into your imagination, and your imagination is going to trickle down into manifesting your reality. It has to do with that law of attraction stuff. And what you think and feel is what you attract, your vibrational essence, and is what your today is based upon. Your reality of today is based upon what you've been thinking and feeling your whole life. So we can switch it up by changing, consciously start practicing changing what you think and feel of now. Ignore your reality. You don't want what is your reality if you don't like your reality. You imagine a better reality. You imagine it. You keep it in the world of imagination. And you allow the great I am that I am and that you are to work the details of manifesting what you're thinking and feeling. It's like a imagine a big chalkboard and you're writing all these equations and it's I like this, I hate that, I don't like that, this scares me. I believe that they don't like me. The world's coming to it, and you just huge chalkboard, and then you convert it into mathematical symbols or computer code, and at the end of it, it equals your reality. And every day you're on the chalkboard rubbing that out and changing this or exponentially. I know I really hate these things. You've increased the exponential intensity of one of the factors in that great computation is that becomes your reality. You change that. So you can consciously start changing that reality by going in there into your imagination. And in your imagination, no, that's out. My life is great. I love my life. Life is going good. I'm winning now. You scratch out loser. It's not in the physical world, not your reality, which is your physical. You got your physical props upon which your physical idea of reality exists. So you're up there scratching, saying, my life is good. You see the end result that you want. You start using all these law of attraction and manifestation techniques in your imagination. And then you don't walk down the street going, oh, that's all fucked up. And you go, oh, I forgot. Because you just scratched out something in your great computation of reality and plugged back in once again. Life sucks. Then you die. Damn. How many places? I've done that about 150,000 times in my life. I've said, this place sucks. Fuck. See, and new reality in my own universe, in my imaginary world. And you hold it, you do your best you can, then you do all those other law of attraction techniques to change your life and your reality. So it is what it is. To that extent, I'm practicing these different law of attraction techniques, one at a time. Gratitude, act as if, visual, all these different things. So that's how I'm doing it. And so anyway.
I think it's one of the best things.
To wrap it up as a conclusion to the question, if you're doubting that your reality is, if reality is real or not, that is your reality. But it takes an understanding on a different level, a deeper level of what is reality. Is this a simulation? Is this a matrix? Is this a prison planet? Is this the best place for me to be at this time? What is this to me? And everybody asks them that question. And everybody has a story to tell for themselves. Well, it's like this for me. And that is your reality. So that's my answer to that.
I like it. And as I was saying, I think it's one of the best things about us. Like, we are the creators. Everything we feel, we think, we manifest, and everything, like the way we understand life is going to be that way. So, for people who are into, astrology and horoscopes, and like, someone like posted the thing like, oh, Cancer or Taurus or like this and that will have this kind of day and you're going to like get this kind of trouble. And you read it and then you're like, oh my God, I should be careful. And all of a sudden they buy that reality that today will be like that, like the horoscope said. And now they're like being careful and they're like adjusting their life, or like, your destiny will be like that. So people like buy into their destiny, and oh, your destiny to be like, poor, miserable, blah blah blah. And they believe that they are that. They believe they're going to be poor until the rest of their life, and they're like, their life sucks in every single way. They're never going to be successful, blah blah blah. Like all these things, and eventually they believe that, they buy it, and it all constructs their reality. And I feel like but when people thinking like, oh, 2012, we're gonna be like, humanity will end, like everything's like gonna be destruction, like, the end of the world. And for people who bought into that reality, for those who believed it, they're gone. In my reality, I never bought into it. They're alive. So in all different realities, for us, like every single person has a different reality, and the way we understand it, we're gonna experience it that way. And it's really just like amazing, because eventually we are the ones creating it all.
Yeah, I like that. That's the way I see it too. Each and every one of us is God, the creator of all that is from our one viewpoint. And there's only as much there as you see, feel, touch, taste, perceive, or imagine, or consider, or ponder. And if you think there's galaxies far, far away, there are galaxies far, far away in your wild imagination. And if you go, no, it's really here. I'm looking through a telescope. I see those galaxies far, far away. Yeah. Okay. That's your reality. You're looking through a telescope and you see galaxies. Well, are they real or are they imaginary? They're real. Okay. They are real for the person having the experience. The God being, the creator of all that is, for this one individual from this one viewpoint. And ta-da.
Great.
Deep shit, man.
Yeah. So we have more questions on, like, do you want to talk it up, or do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Sure.
Yeah. You were saying?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Tree's asking, what do you think about joining the U.S. military, and are they doing the right thing?
Well, yeah, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I joined the Air Force when I was 18 years old. And especially in this time right now, there's some, if you like America, if you're an American and you like America, we have to protect our country. If we didn't have an army, and what, the others are going to go, yeah, we won't bother with America because we're nice people. The beings that run these countries are pretty aggressive, selfish, you might say. They're in it for their own country. This is just the nature of these things. So yeah, we need a military, and we need our guns. In America, we need the right to bear arms and have our guns handy in case things get out of hand. Well, just knowing, oh, don't mess with them, they got guns. That's universal. So, yeah, it's to protect ourselves. And the military, it's important. Now, I believe it's also important to keep our military at home and not use it to be offensive or to get into other people's business. And I believe this deep state and Obama and Clinton and all these others, Bushes and stuff like that, they weren't really working for the American people. They were working for their own faction of the deep state and the New World Order and all that stuff. the cabal, the cabals, the many. But yeah, definitely. And if now I feel better about giving somebody my thoughts on joining the military if they're young and they're thinking about, gee, what am I going to do with my life? I feel better about saying, yeah, the military, that's okay. I feel better about it doing it now than I did like 10 years ago or 20 years ago when some of these other presidents were in power, because I am real sure that these other people that were in the presidency and our government in general was corrupt. It still is, but now it's coming out. But it was so corrupt. And if you were in the military, especially in the Army, you're liable to get experimented on without your knowledge or permission. And people who joined the Army and the military back in those days were being used, what I feel is the dark side and the deep state, which is not America, but it's the deep state New World Order groups in it for themselves, for acquisition and power, and to create war. For the war machine makes money. You can sell ammunition, weapons to both sides. You can steal children, kidnap people, do human trafficking under cover of war. You can come in afterwards. You bring in Dick Cheney and his fucking company. They get all the reparations and all the construction work. They can just rip off things. It's just the war was used and is used to make money for the deep state, money and blood sacrifice, and that whole thing. So used to be, I would say, no, don't contribute to that by joining the military. But now, I believe with Trump in office, we have a chance to change things around and get out the corruption and evil. Yep. Yeah. I don't usually wear my hat when I make a video, but I noticed I'm being red, white, and blue today. Look at it.
There you go.
So yeah, this is the way I look at things, and the corruption in government right now is extremely bad. And if you do your research on the subject of what's going on in the world, Trump's making a change. What he does in 10 years or five or 10 years from now, or the next guy, what he does, I don't know. But what he's doing now is by statistically good stuff. And I think he's taken really good care of our American military. And he's using them for the right reasons. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Do you have some thoughts about this subject?
Well, I'm not American, so I don't really feel like, hey, I can't really say anything about it. But if I would have that red hat, it would write, make taxation theft again.
Make what?
Make taxation theft again.
Make taxation?
Yeah.
Make it what?
Theft, like stealing.
Tough.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
We'll just move right.
Yeah.
I have bad audio on this side,
okay.
So I'm not hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, there's this look from We Are the Change, and he's just really big on taxes, theft, and people are like, hey, they're stealing your money and all this stuff, and he has his own merchandise, and instead of Make America Great Again, he has this other writing, so I like that one. But for me, I'm a sort of naive little girl who goes into, I wish the world was a better place, to where instead of military and all the armies and all the guns, so we would have more education, and people would be taught spiritually and into all the morals and ethics and stuff, but also we would have Venus projects raised and all this stuff. So I'm moving sideways, but anyway, just want the world to be better.
Yeah, I see that as a great possibility for Earth. We can turn it around, and it can be a better place. Yeah.
And with that, we also have more questions if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hmm.
So usually is asking, should I push it or does it have to come naturally? And I'm not sure what exactly he's talking about because we talked about a lot of subjects, but like just in general, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine he's talking about the miracle of manifestation to create your own reality, or the law of attraction. Yeah, push it is not it. The if you're into pushing it, you're into the effort, and you're believing it's not happening unless you push it. And so that's what you're creating. It's not happening unless you push it. Not to say that you can't get stuff by pushing it, but some of the best teachings and teachers on law of attraction, one of the best ones is Neville Goddard. I love this guy. And a lot of other teachers are saying the same thing, but you picture the end result. And there's no pushing there. You've already got the thing you want. Uh, and then you do all the other good stuff. You you create it, you visualize it, you think it, you act as if you got it, and you want to get that feeling state of having it, and let go of the doubts and the negative thinking about it, and the pushing and the must have and all that stuff, and you just put that in consciousness. And it's a good idea to practice that just before you go to sleep at night, because you're drifting into the theta state. And that's where the real programming can take place. So yeah, so now pushing it isn't really the thing. And Joe Vitale talks about doing it with inspiration. Others do too, but Joe Vitale will talk about if you got it going, you're feeling it, you're inspired, and you'll sit down and you'll do some work on it. When you're not feeling it, just let it go. Other teachers will say, you create it, you put it there, and just let it go. Don't think about it. And I've seen that work. For myself as well as others. So just let it go. But if you want to get back to it again the next day because it didn't happen yet, when you're feeling inspired, that's when you work on it. And it's like your higher self or that greater consciousness that you are. You realize who you really are in that moment of inspiration, and you go, oh, and you'll write the thing, you'll do the thing, you'll work on the thing, and you're working on enjoying the work, but you let it go when you're done, and you just imagine the end result and all that, all these different law of attraction things. So yeah, that's how I see it.
I like it. All right, more questions or like how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I mean, I figure after we record this, our live stream, we can take the recording, chop it up, make little videos out of it, and upload each question as a video. Why not?
Sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So Kim is asking, if one sees a silvery white flying saucer flying around here in the physical reality, who might be the pilot?
Who might be the pilot? Well, let's talk about who might have, who runs the show. Who run this UFO with a guy inside piloting it. It's probably not Elon Musk with his own private little thing. It's probably owned. So it can be owned by some earthly concern or an extraterrestrial group can own it. If it's an Earth, it's like reverse engineering. Hitler was building these freaking things back in 1939, 40, 41, all that stuff. He was building that stuff. But there's also in the US, black ops, secret operations, shadow government stuff, secret CIA stuff, secret space program groups, military groups, military industrial complex together. These different projects. So different beings or different groups can be building these machines. And if they're Earth ones, and they're piloted, they're probably going to be piloted by somebody that was born within the last 50 years. So it'd be human, Earth human. So that's very possible and likely, and I believe that happens all the time. But it doesn't have to be that. if it's an extraterrestrial craft from the Andromeda, I mean, they got all these different places, the Pleiades, Andromedas, from Orion, and all these different places, these spacecraft. There's over 200 ET races that have been snooping around lately in the last few thousand years around Earth. And a lot of them are aggressively involved within our Earth's culture and civilization. And some of them they have bases. Some of them are with working with the military, deep underground bases, reptilians, grays. But there's others that are not part of the military industrial complex. And they've been around here for millions of years. This is from Corey Goode, Emery Smith kind of guys, talking about what's going on in Antarctica. And they will have their flying craft, their spacecraft. So who could be flying that fucker? It could be a human. It could be a gray. It could be a reptilian. Probably not a reptilian so much, because it's like British royalty taking a fucking Uber somewhere. It's just not going to happen. But yeah, it's like that. That's how I see it. I think if you step back from it and you think about the ones that have been seen, the Roswell incident and things like that, these were ETs. Some of them crashed. I heard that one of the reasons they crashed is back in those days they were just inventing the new radar systems, and it was new technology for Earth. And the guys flying around, the extraterrestrials flying around their little silvery spacecraft, were working on a wavelength of navigational stuff that the new radar stuff was interfering with. And it screwed up their navigational stuff and their control systems, and they crashed. But there's lots of reasons why they can crash and stuff. And most of those, I think, were extraterrestrials. But there's tall whites, tall grays, pinks, blues. There's insectoids. That'll give me the fucking creeps. And the small reptilians, as in 8 feet, as opposed to 20 feet, 24 feet. There's just all kinds of extraterrestrials that can be flying those things. And a lot of humanoid extraterrestrials, like Pleiadians, Plejarians, Nords, that sort of thing. So yeah, all kinds.
Yeah, and I feel like there's another thing going on. Like, I think that people like us, somewhere deep down, like always wanted that, like, hey, the government should admit that there are aliens and stuff like that. While the mainstream media will ridicule people like us, like, hey, believer, like dumb people believing that there's like aliens and stuff. But now it's actually slowly happening. Slowly, it is happening in the people and the mainstream media who've been telling, who've been ridiculing people like us our whole lives, who believed in extraterrestrials and the possibility of aliens. Now they themselves have articles on their places about them being there, them existing. It's alive, it's there, and it's in public. Like, they're sort of slowly admitting about the alien life and all this stuff. So I think like eventually it's gonna happen. Like, people will be aware of it and accept it, but like right now it's still slowly under disguise and hardly seen. But even like the mainstream media people, like New York Times and stuff, they're talking about it finally. So we're getting there.
Great.
Yeah. So more questions, huh?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just have to scroll down through what people brought so far, and there's quite a few. Yeah, we have questions of what we're doing right now, and when we're doing like next stream, will it be on YouTube or Twitch?
Probably YouTube. Yeah. Oh, and I want to say too, we're going to set up a feature that if you would like definitely your question to get noticed and answered, we're going to have a donate button, so you can throw us a few bucks, $5, $10, whatever feels good, and you're going to get you definitely get your question answered. Okay. in case we can't get to everybody, you know. So that's a feature we're working on. We're working on getting that set up. We haven't got everything set up like that, but
Yeah. Okay. So another question from Tom Snoo. She's saying that, this world seems crazy evil right now with the directed energy weapons attacking California and all satanic politicians. So do you think there is a light force arriving here to help us, or are we on our own?
absolutely, there are life forces here. There's probably quite a few ET races helping, and the ones that are really smart and really good at it, we haven't heard their name yet because they're under the radar. But the Andromedans, Alex Collier and others talk about the Andromedans being here to help. And imagine, you got Andromeda is a galaxy, and there's going to be billions of planets. So we here on Earth, we have a hard time tracking humans. Which race of humans? There's little 3 foot tall, 3.5 foot tall humans with red hair in the Philippines, humans. And then there's the real tall, I was watching Wilt Chamberlain and these really tall humans, right? And there's all kinds of humans, and there are all kinds of agendas that humans have. So when you say the Andromedans, more specifically, we're talking about a group of Andromedans from the Andromeda galaxy of a council who are obviously in control of a lot of planets, and we have an alliance or a civilization focused good people. And let's just imagine for a second that they're probably human or humanoid, and they're here to help, because the story I heard is that they've been watching what the reptilians have been doing to the humanoids and others in our galaxy. The reptilians are just, control and domination. That's the thing, acquisition. So they're into that here. And the Andromedans have seen, they kind of like time travel. They can just see the writing on the wall. We're next. If we don't do something to help stop these reptilians doing that thing they do, we're next. Corey Good just recently was at Mount Shasta giving lectures and stuff, and he was talking about the Andromedans and the reptilians and what the reptilians are doing here now, not just on our planet, but in our galaxy, in this local sector. And they're trying to put a net, not just around Earth, but around the entire galaxy, to enslave the entire galaxy some sophisticated way. So the Andromedans saw this shit coming. They go, oh, this is Nick. We better get our asses over there and start helping. So they're here helping. And I also heard that the Procyons are actually above the inspired, kind of the managers or the inspiration or the motivation behind the Andromedan Council and getting them to help. They were inspired by the Procyons. As I understand, the Procyons, they're the ones we're talking about, they're kind of elven looking, or they get the shorter ones. They're kind of like the little dwarf looking guys, but they're the loving, decent, highly advanced spiritually, these beings, and they operate fourth density, fifth density, and all that. But they're helping the Andromedans, who are definitely physically oriented. The Procyons too. The Procyon is just another fucking star system out there somewhere. But anyway, helping the Andromedans help us. So yeah, I believe there's a lot of them out there. And there's Corey Good talks about the blue avions and the others. We could talk about the creepy shit too, the spiders and insectoids and ants and creepiness like that. But that's okay. I'm just saying.
And I can sort of confirm it from my own personal experience, because like when I go out of body and like do all kinds of missions, and usually I'm like just visiting other devastated realms that have been like occupied and taken over by reptilians and other forces, and like usually I'm there to help beings and just okay, you're safe, and like putting them up in the realms for like a rehab to recover, and then like as we're working on the planet to make it better, they can finally get back and stuff. So with all the work I've been doing, and like I get missions into like, hey, target specific like spaceships that have been causing this. Like I'm doing that sort of work, and I see more and more spaceships from the good guys who are fighting reptilians, who are like doing the good stuff, and there's more and more portals being opened where they can come in, and like that's what like Grace really don't like, and it's just amazing like finally having some friendly units out there helping us. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to do another exploration, me and you, Rila.
Hope so. It's been a while.
Yeah. We can explore the Andromedan guys and just check in for a visit, see what we can find, and Procyons too, and others, the Plejarians or the Pleiadians, and or just go out and ask if we can visit some of the commanders or the Starfleet command ships, good guys out there in our galaxy, just see what we find, see what's up.
Yeah.
And then maybe make a video on share that stuff.
Yeah, I actually miss doing that stuff, because like when we connect and just being able to finally take my time off and just get into it and like explore and help our beings or just find more information, like I really love that.
Yeah. About 3 years ago, we used to do that, huh? Was it 3 or 4? Longer?
6.
6 years ago, we were doing that. It's one of the first things we did together, explore these spacecraft. Me with my ability to guide Agvila, and her with her eyes and ears and her ability to shift consciousness and actually be there. We found one of her, a ship that she had personal connection with. She has like another self, a sister self, sort of on board and all that. So we were exploring all that. That was fun.
Yeah, for me, like this was one of the first things that like sort of like changed my life, because back then I was at my grandparents' place and just spending a night, and I went outside and it's like dark, kind of like close to autumn season, and like it's foggy and stuff, and I look up and it's away from the city. No one's outside. Like I've told about it, sorry, but like it's just it's once again, but like no noises, nothing can make anything, like no life. It's just us, and of course animals and stuff. But yeah, I look up at the sky, and there's these like 5, 6, 7 circles, and as you can see the light in the sky. You cannot see the spaceship or anything, but the light is there, and no airplane could be there. No, like, and back then like they didn't even have those. Drones, at least not in Lithuania, that would be like so sophisticated. And so what I'm seeing, like there's this huge light coming down, and they're like scanning around, like 7, 6 lights. They go all in one place and spread out and like move around and come like, and they're just like scanning the place. And the size, when you like go through the radius, it would be like about 25 to 30 meters, and that's a lot. Like I don't know, you're like 2 meters, so that's like, I don't know, 15 of you or so. Like, and there's like and more, but like it's just crazy how big it was. And I saw that, and I was like, I was watching it for like 20, 30 minutes. I was like, wow, like it's just amazing. And for me, that was like, yes, that's something for me, because I believed in it. And finally, I got my own sign. I was like, I'll just take it. So I went to sleep, and what happens? I'll go to sleep. I get out of body, and I'm in the spaceship. And the captain comes close and like, hey, we've been waiting for you. And like, it's like, hey. So for me, like, it was pretty amazing, this whole experience, and just talking to them. And when I told you about this Ubi, we started like working together more and more, and we've been exploring the spaceship. But the journey from there went on to like where I worked on having like lots of Ubis to where I don't even have to try anymore. I get like 5 Ubis a night, easy enough. It's again. So going from there, like all the explorations I've done over the years, it's just pretty amazing for me. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
Just felt like sharing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. It's a neat story. It's fun. That's quite a while ago.
Yeah, it's one of the things that got us together, because like we've been like, I was learning from you to get out of body, and like we still like pretty strangers or stuff. You're just my teacher, And since then, like all these crazy things that happen in my life, and just sharing those stories and like doing the work with you, like lots of wins. I like it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we have more questions coming in if you're up for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many people do we have
Right now, 25.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your watching our stuff. And definitely, if you have questions, we'll try to get to them. And throw money. We'll answer questions for money. No, we don't have it set up yet. So that even if you wanted to, you couldn't do it right now. But just go ahead.
Yeah. So Feather is asking, where are they infiltrated in the actual realm? Like, where's their territory? Where's their base? I'm guessing, like, the evil forces, reptilians, place, and all this stuff.
Oh, it's the way the astral and these other realms work. Belief system territories are multidimensionality, a reality, the multiverse. There's like millions, billions. It's unlimited number of these things. But if you want to consider this is third density reality, it's a vibrational context where the stage is set, and it's set as a physical universe model, right? If you believe in that, if you believe the earth is flat and there's a dome and there is nothing else, your prerogative, go forth. And for you, that's your truth. And there's plenty of people that believe that and tune into that, and you will literally have that. That is how it is. But there are so many different ways that it is for those who agree that it is that way. So third density reality is, so generally everybody here is believing that I was a in physical earth. Yeah, stars, sun, moon, got it. Yeah. Universe out there. Okay, that's third density reality. Well, there's a fourth density reality, which is just a major key up. So you're up here. Now the reptilians hang out up there. Okay. They're living, the war is going on in this fourth density reality too. We're not having the pain of it there, the physical pain. That's a third density phenomena, intense pain and unconsciousness. So when we bring part of ourselves down here, we get the pain and unconsciousness. But if we play the same game, reptilians and those who want to control and dominate the universe, they're playing that game there. And we're playing against them there. And so when you ask, where are they hanging out? You could literally, they're everywhere, but so are the good guys. And it's a big universe. Fourth density reality, big universe. Third density reality, big universe. So in fourth density reality, they've got their star bases, they have their solar systems, they have their planets, and the things they do there, working it in fourth density reality. And they have a connection with third density reality, their counterparts or their allies in third density reality. So you could say they are hanging out in the same places in the physical universe, in different galaxies and planets and solar systems in different places. But then, like, if you say astral realms, you can have realms between third density and fourth density reality. And those are just vibrational frequencies, like radio stations between the big popular ones that have a lot of power radiating. You can always pick up this station and this station. But there's lots of little radio stations in between, a little music, a little this, a little that. But you have to vibrationally tune into those, and you can find reptilians and AI and grays and insectoids of different kinds in these places, and they'll be in little pockets, so to speak, like a little village with gray all around. You've seen movies where it's just a little village, and what's beyond the gray or beyond the dome? Ooh, we don't know. But what's going on is the village. So you can have places like that for these reptilians and ETs that are the dark side. And it's really easy to tune into them. You just think about it, and you can tune in. Some people can do that. Like I can do it, Akvila can do it, and I know many of you guys can do this. You go, well, where are they? They're right. Oh, there's some. Ooh. Yeah. So that's where they hang out in that way. Your thoughts on this?
Well, and like, to find their base, it doesn't mean that there's just only one base and you can target that and we're full. Like, yay, no more.
We're done.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I like the missions I go to every night, like, just getting rid of the reptilians, helping other beings. I target those places a lot, and like going undergrounds, going on their spaceships, going on different planets, and just like blasting the whole planet where like they lived. I did that tons of times, and I've like got rid of millions. There's still plenty of them, and then again, meeting my work, I get rid of them in my reality. And people have their own realities, people have their own things going on, people have different timelines going. And just because I get rid of things for one stuff doesn't mean that, your life will be much better. It can be, but at the same time, it can be different. So, it's quite a thing.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah. But not to end off on this like terrible note, like, oh no, it's kind of terrible.
No, it's great. A lot of us are tuned in to a generalized, we generally agree on a reality together here on Earth. We understand what's going on in the world together. We do it as a group. We've kind of agreed to this together. But then we have our, it's like outside your home, it's a certain way. Inside your home, it's a different way. But you can step outside and interact with those around you, and you instantly are tuned into the world. And you have your world view of things, and you have your opinion, and thus your reality about, hey, the world sucks, or the world is, hey, it is what it is. What I've realized is the best way to go is non-judgmental. Don't judge it. It is what it is. You can see what it is. Everybody else can see what it is. And judging it harshly will bind it to you. If it's, oh, that sucks, they're bad, then you run around with, they're bad. If you run around, they're doing what they're doing, they are what they are, and I'm for the other team on getting them to stop doing what they're doing, because that's the game we're playing. I'm on the side of awakening consciousness and freedom in spirit and this sort of thing. And free will, as long as it's not hurting or causing pain or unconsciousness or ignorance or dumbing down of the others. That's that team, that's not my team. So that's the game I'm in. I'm involved on many levels. So if I can practice being here and not being judgmental, better. I'm breaking bad habits. No motherfucker. Oh, sorry. I'm creating that reality. I'm binding it to myself as a thing to be upset and mad about. And that's just keeping my own vibration low. If I can look at the same things that the Democrats are doing, for example, and go, look what they're doing today. How clever. I see where they're going with that and why they're doing it. My reality. Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, respect, we're the enemy, right? Game, you're playing a game with somebody else, and you go, good move. And you don't sit there and hate the other person on the other side of the chessboard if you're playing real chess. I hate you. He makes a move. I hate you. And you want to, no, it's just a game. It's, you choose to play the game, you want to win the game. So, next move, your move, our move. And so sort of like that. But everybody gets to do it their own way. You can hate the enemy or be non-judgmental. Whatever.
Yeah. So what would be your wrap-up message for this whole stream?
My wrap-up message is, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And when we get a donate button, hit it so you get your question answered fast. That's me authentic, like,
There you go.
But I think a wrap-up message for the context of the subject matter that we've been talking about is reality is multidimensional, and there's what is real to you is not necessarily what is real to the next guy or the next girl. And having an understanding of reality and how we manifest our reality is what's really important. And the story we tell ourselves becomes our reality, and we live it. And we can change our story using law of attraction principles or manifest your own reality sort of techniques and principles. And yeah.
Great. Well, thanks. I enjoyed doing the stream with you, Rich.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for suggesting doing it, Avila, and for streaming it from your side. Appreciate that.
Perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, if there are any viewers who know me but don't know Rich, this is Rich2150X. Go on his YouTube channel, like follow his stuff. He has tons of great videos, so check it out.
Yeah, over what, 800 or 1,000 or something?
About 1,000, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. Okay, then I guess take care now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be doing another live stream here, probably sooner than later, huh?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, and we'd love your feedback. You can hang out here a little bit and, with your feedback or leave comments under the, I don't know how it works exactly. But yeah, your feedback is greatly appreciated.
Okay then. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.